Well, problematic darlings, it's so lovely to see you here in my humble abode. Ooh, look at that. Time to get your hair done is the name of this video. No, so I wanted just to make a video about some of the chaos that's been going on in my life lately. And this one is about SNAPTRAVEL and choice hotels. As most of you know, me and my fiance had been living in hotels ever since there was an incident with the landlord. And long story short, she over there at that residence in Park Heights rented a room way overpriced and didn't have permission to be renting that room. Now, when you live somewhere for, I don't know how long it is, but I want to say between a week to 12 days, you're a resident. And I was living there and paying rent. And when I moved him in, that was okay because it was never said that I couldn't. He was living there with me. Well, I guess for whatever reason, maybe she wasn't getting the things that she wanted from him. Oh, excuse me, I got the sniffles. Okay. He wouldn't supply the landlord, with the things that she wanted. Oh, goodness. Be nice. She started having, she started being really mean to him. Well, you can't be mean to, that's like being mean to me. And as much as you see me on here crying like Trisha Paytas, I'm also a bitch. And I just didn't feel like it was worth the amount living there. Anyway, they got into an argument, and she made him leave. And she was going to call the police. He, being an African-American male, didn't want to be around when the police came. And who can blame him? So we left, and we've been in hotels ever since. That was about 3 weeks ago. So we've been living in hotels, and I go through, you get much better, you get great discounts. I'm going to tell you, SNAPTRAVEL, those big companies, Booking.com, Priceline, they do okay, but it's the little ones you got to find. These little tiny rinky-dink companies, they have got the killer rates in like the $39, $42 range. And I mean, most of us can live on that. Well, you can. You like this hat? I got it for him. I don't think he likes it much. Anyway, it's my favorite color, neon green. I don't know if you can tell with my beautiful pink, my beautiful pink filter. Deal with it. But anyway, so we went through SNAPTRAVEL one day, and we stayed at the Roadway Inn, which is way out in somewhere out there, Woodlawn or something. Anywho, the people at the desk were so rude, so ridiculously rude. And one day we were late paying the bill. There's Daddy. Oh, there's Daddy. He sent me a message. Listen, you guys, I'm going to start, I just hope you know, I'm going to start talking a little less about my private life. This week was too much. It made everything that had happened worse. And though that's a catharticism for me to get these things out, it also makes you form an opinion based on what I'm going through. And that may not always be right, and I own it. It's not fair. It's not fair to him. I'm not giving him space to tell his side of the story. I'm not an easy person to live with. You know, I'm extremely jealous. Don't believe anything men say. I need a lot of attention because I'm at an age where beauty is important. And I need the person I'm with to tell me every day how beautiful I am. And that's not easy for some guys. Some guys aren't like that. Luckily he is. But anyway, so we decided not to go through Priceline that day. We're going to pay cash. They let us do it, and it was about 2 hours late. And I mean, this is a humongous hotel. It wasn't like they were going to rent all these rooms at one time. But he sent me a text. I'll be right back. So we went in just to pay cash the next day, and like I said, it was a few hours late, but they got cash, much more than they would have gotten from SNAPTRAVEL, who I had been going through. Then the next day we checked out, we checked back in, nothing was said, there was no problem. Then he had to go to work, and he worked third shift, and was doing a lot of videos and stuff that night, and I paid for another night, for the next night, for the room. And then I went shopping the next morning, of course. Came back to just get my key. Room had already been paid for on my car. They said, we're sorry, you cannot stay here. I said, why not? This is the Roadway Inn in, I'll put the address on the back of this, the description of this video, the back description. I'll put the address there. But, now when you pay online for a reservation, such as a hotel or a flight, it comes off of your card right then. And as far as hotels goes, you will not get a refund no matter what. It takes a lot to get some type of refund or compensation. It's so hard. And also, you guys, when booking these things, check that date before you book it, because they usually set it. You'll get they'll put a lower rate, and it's set for a date that's 2 weeks in advance. Well, that's the rate you want, and you don't look at the date. But it's for a different day, and you can't get a refund. You cannot get a refund. But they wouldn't give a reason. And I said, that's interesting. So I said, well, I don't have any money. How am I going to get my money back? You have to call the place you made the reservation through. So I did, and I told them what was happening, and I said, I'm going to keep it real. I played that card. I played the card. I said, I believe they're transphobic and racist. I said, because I'm a woman who happens to be a trans female, and my husband is a man who happens to be African American. He's black. And I spoke with the supervisor of all supervisors, and she put it to where I could get a room. She gave me credits and coins for 2 nights, and I could book one for that day and then the next night. So I did. First night we got there, we moved to another hotel out in Cockeysville, which is right beside Timonium, and I love that section of Maryland because the people are nice. But that next day, that was a Sunday. We checked in there on a Saturday. The next day was a Sunday. They said we hadn't paid the room. So I said, what's going on? The room hadn't been paid for Sunday. It had been paid for Saturday, but not Sunday. So I called the customer service, and they were relentless, telling me that I had only been given permission to use the coins for 1 day. That's not true. Because of the incident that happened, she let me. She specifically told me I had 2 days of credit. Now, mind you, I didn't get a refund. I did not get a refund. So one of those days I paid for. The next day was an apology from SNAPTRAVEL, and I got the free day. But the woman who's in another part of the world, she just wasn't listening or hearing it. And that's the video from a few days ago where you hear me, my husband, and her all going at it. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is this? Well, that's what it was. I'm arguing with the SNAPTRAVEL supervisor. Roadway Inn is through a company called Choice Hotels. And I called and complained about the treatment I had been given. And I told them what I believed it was, and it probably was. Now, they won't admit it, but they won't. What's interesting is that the people won't admit it, that it's not true either. Anyway, Choice Hotels offered me 2,000 coins. I said, can I use all the 2,000 coins at once? No. I said, well, then I don't need it. Keep it. I said, this has nothing to do. I said, if you give me a free night stay or something, I might, not seek retribution. But you're basically telling me, oh, well, you're not worth anything. So I'm here to tell you, do not rent at the Roadway Inn or Choice Hotels. I believe the people at Roadway Inn are transphobic, homophobic, and prejudiced. Hold on, let me find out that exact address. The Roadway Inn I'm speaking of is 1654 Whitehead Court. Transphobic, racist. 2 men at the front desk. And you would think they wouldn't be racist, but they are. They're horrible, horrible people. Which brings me to this. I have a platform. I will use it. I will use it any way that I want to. Those of you that say, well, you only have so many subscribers. Yes, but I've got a lot more viewers than I do subscribers, most of whom are European. The LGBTQ community. There's a lot of prejudice in that community, too, that I'm a member of. They are very selective about who they help, helping their own. The only woman that has come through for my fiance and myself is Maddie, and she was the woman that was on the lease with me in my apartment that I shared with Lester and Oh So Divine, where I was paying more rent than everyone. I was put on the lease. I have no idea why. I guess because so she wouldn't be held responsible. Anyway, all that drama happened late last summer, and I had to move. And Maddie did everything I told her to. I don't think it was fair that I had to move. That was my apartment. I was paying more rent than Divine. And yes, I was. So the last 2, I quit paying rent. If I get evicted, y'all get evicted too. So she did everything I said. Like on a Wednesday, she said, "What do you want from me?" I said, "I want you to pay for my move, and I want you to pay my deposit." She said, "Just tell me how much you need." I told her. I said, "Give me $1,000." She had it. I moved that Saturday. So she came through for me, but it's almost nasty and grimy the way I had to do it, because I'm really not that person. I don't want to play eye for eye. Well, she made when David and I started going through drama with the landlord, and we were going place to place, she made this graph thing, and I posted on here, and some of you got a personal copy of it in your messenger. No one donated anything. That's cool. Times are hard. I understand. But no one donated anything. But yet, Divine gets all the help she wants. Divine doesn't even pay her own rent. Maddie does. Gets all the help in the world from all those people. But we don't. Maddie did help us significantly during the first few weeks. And then basically told me she didn't want anything to do with me. Not in those words, because she's too polite. But she didn't want to help us anymore. And I don't have hardly any family, and it's very rare that my sisters help me. One will not help me at all. The other one is very sporadic. And I understand that. I just think that in the LGBTQ community, they are selective about who they help. They help this particular person, Divine, because they feel sorry for her because of things that she says happened to her in her childhood. She's 19, 20 years old. And I can tell you that those GoFundMe accounts, would you like to know where they really go to? Just saying, think about who you help. Anything you donate to me, I am so grateful for it. And in fact, I even say, don't send me the money. Book this room yourself and just make sure I'm on it so I can get in with no problem. My income now is YouTube and OnlyFans and FaceTime shows, meaning basically people that want webcam shows, a personal show where and yes, I do. YouTube pays my phone bill. OnlyFans lets us eat, and my FaceTime shows pay the hotel fee. And yes, he helps. Listen, he was working a lot a couple weeks ago. He paid for everything, got everything we needed and wanted. So I have a good guy. And you have to realize that I'm not used to that. I'm not used to having a good guy. So I automatically assume the worst. And please, I've said this before. I won't say it again. Please stop telling me things about him. First of all, I already know. Secondly, why would I care? Third, who's he with now? I've been with him. I've been with him. I've been with him. Who's he come home to? You don't know what kind of relationship we have. You don't know what our relationship entails. It's none of your goddamn business. Go get your own boyfriend. Some of y'all are so pathetic that you think if you fuck someone, that's your boyfriend. It's quite the opposite, my darling. If you fuck someone, it makes you enemies. Sex is the easy part. Sex is the easy part. To know someone, that's the hard part. Here I am, no makeup. I love this. I got it for him, but he said it's a little too wild to wear right now. In other words, he doesn't like it. It's okay. I like it. And thank you so much for tuning in. Jacob and I, go check out his channel. I'm going to put a link somewhere here. You know, one of my YouTube bestie, Mr. Jacob Lomax. This is such a fun review. I've watched it like 3 times already. Can't get enough of it. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great weekend. Make sure you get lots of pictures of me and to them. I'm not nasty. Of course I'm nasty. I'm a nasty girl. Go out and get you some. Boop.